Morning, everybody. I got a big day ahead of me with chiefs right here in Alberta. Pretty exciting with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. But that's not what this talk's going to be about. I want to address a post yesterday and various things that have happened in the media. And a lot of people going AWOL. It's always the same suspects. People who talk like they know the system or have been through the system. I myself have been through the system. I do not have a criminal record. I ran for politics in 2019. I have been charged a number of times. But when you're not guilty, you definitely don't plea bargain. You take the time. There's a 2-year statute of limitations. And then the case gets tossed or you go to court, folks. That's for everything in Canada, regardless. There's only so many delays prosecutors are allowed, so many delays the defense is allowed. And yes, if it's deemed that you're a risk to society, yourself, or others, they can keep you in jail. I went through it. I went to jail, and no, I never plea bargained because I was innocent. I did time. I just gave up. I didn't care. I said I'll stay in jail for the rest of my life, but it wouldn't be the rest of my life. And lo and behold, they didn't like that. And after so many months, boom, I'm before a judge. Next thing you know, I'm out with release conditions. Like everybody else till you go to court. Some people have to pay bail. I didn't put up bail. I just said, no, life is easier in prison. I was innocent. I said, you know what? I'll just stay in jail. Here, the taxpayer has to take care of me. The government's going to have to take care of me. I'm tired of taking care of everybody else. They didn't like that. And months went by and I finally got my... All of a sudden, surprise, you're going in front of the judge. Boom, I'm out the door till my trial. At which time, the prosecution offered no contest, which means you're not guilty, but the Crown isn't liable for what they did to you without any evidence. You can't sue them. That is the only deal I've ever made. Other than that, not guilty. Because people who are not guilty don't confess to things that they didn't do. Why would you confess to any crime you didn't do? Now, if you take a deal so that they reduce charges or you don't get the full extent of the law or all the fines and jail time you will receive when found guilty, you accept guilt over something, it's likely because you are guilty. If not, there are other variations of why people do it. The hopeless, you've run out of money, you've got family reasons why, your kids are going to suffer, or you've got outstanding bills that don't go away. Such bills like child support, that never goes away. You can't bankrupt that away. There's the fearful, where maybe the heavy hand of law enforcement beat the shit out of you. Maybe you can't even go home because the local community will beat the shit out of you. It's happened many, many times. There's all kinds of reasons that people plea bargain. But the number one reason why someone who's guilty plea bargains. Guilty always plea bargain because they know they're going to do time. They're going to get nailed for the crime. And this way, they lower all future times they're going to do or fines they're going to get. They know they're guilty, so they plea bargain for lesser time, lesser amounts of money. That's why they do it. That's ultimately number one. Really good for the criminal and great for the Crown because they get their conviction without a big fight. And the Crown is always right, no matter what. You will find in Canada's history, especially Canada, those who are innocent, who go the distance. Some people fight 20, 30 years. 20, 30 years at their expense, and most die long before they ever see any kind of repatriation or restitution for what they went through with the Crown. Because again, the Crown is never wrong in Canada. As soon as people learn that, the better off they'll be. Now, I don't know if you're innocent. It's just me. If you're truly innocent, you will go the distance. Win, lose, or draw, I'd rather spend an eternity in prison. But again, nobody would do more than 2 years on anything, because that's the statute of limitations in Canada. That's the time you get served. And there are credits depending on the level of court. And if you do it in remand, you get the highest credit of time served. There's a multiplier there. Depending on which court system you're in, you get a multiplier for that kind of time served. If you're found guilty, a judgment rendered against you. A lot of people know they're going to be, so they plea bargain. That's the number one reason why they do it. If you're innocent, you never plea bargain. And people saying people were beat the shit out of in these situations, that's not true. No, nobody was beaten down. I know the prison system. I went through it too, and nobody was getting beat down. If anything, they were all treated very, very well. I even know James Coates was treated very, very well in the remand. I know he was. So that's the truth, folks. That's reality. Contrary to what everybody thinks or says, or people's cockamamie ideas, or they think they know people. People don't know people, and they profess to. But I went through the system on a number of fronts, and I never, ever once in my whole life ever took a plea. Not a once. I have no criminal record. None whatsoever. And I've had some heavy fights over the years, and I did time awaiting a decision. I never gave up, and things worked out for me. Took the time, didn't do the crime. Because the prosecution, if you're innocent, they got to provide evidence. And if they don't have the evidence, case thrown out. Or you get to the point of trial and they have a weak case, and they come forward and they'll offer you a way out that gives them actually a way out, and that's called a no contest. But if they have evidence to convict you, your lawyer will tell you that you're going to get convicted in common law, the law of precedent, meaning all the cases before you, just like yours, with the same kind of evidence, the judge must rule that way. And if a lawyer tells you you're going to get a judgment of guilty, you're best to make a plea bargain. Then people do, because they don't want to be convicted for multiple crimes. And if you're not repentant and you're convicted, they're going to give you the maximum time. That's what happens. They do more. That's how they negotiate. We got you charged for 6 things. Plead it down to 1 thing. You get time served. Bye. That's what happens. Many people do it. Many guilty people do it. The majority of the guilty always plea bargain. That's the truth. People don't like that truth, but that's reality. And then there's a pile of people who are hopeless or are fearful because of family, because of money, especially for those in the child support. There's no way out of that, and I understand that. A lot of people understand that who've been put through that. There's no way out. Sometimes you just have to take it off the chin. I never did. It costed me everything. But like I said, it didn't cost me my soul, and it didn't cost my self-respect. But that's just me. I don't know how much people want to lose. The system will financially liquidate you. That's Canada forever and a day. Okay, everybody. Got big things going on this morning with the Chiefs right here in Alberta. at least the Treaty 8 monumental presentation on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report that is in error for one nation here in Alberta. So it should be really good as I meet the Grand Chief of Treaty 8. Very, very important to the work we're doing, and one nation who's ready to report to the United Nations Security Council. So big morning for me. We've been all through Canada with this. One report prior to this June 28th for all the allies, the International Criminal Court, the 2 Arctic Council members, and of course the UN elders should propel things pretty good. At least give us time for the next years to come. It's going to be a devastating blow on all federal parties in Canada, and this one particular one overlaps somebody's daddy who used to be Prime Minister of Canada, and I sure like that. 1,700 missing government records released by one Archbishop in Canada. One decided not to listen to the Pope and not listen to the government, and decided the right thing to do was turn over the records. Jesus and God, the Creator, work in mysterious ways. It's never too late, folks, and wish me luck this morning. It's a big day. Bye now.